This video will compare the UK Parliament to the US Congress using political theory. How to tackle the comparative questions. Students should use the following three theoretical approaches to make a comparative study of the government and politics of the UK and the USA, analysing and explaining similarities and differences between them. The three comparative theories that we are going to be using are structural, rational, and cultural. Structural theory focuses on the institutions in a political system and the processes within them. Rational theory focuses on individuals within a political system and the assumption that people will act rationally. And cultural theory focuses on the shared ideas and history within a political system or group. There is no official comparative requirement for Congress, but it could come up under the Constitution. Comparing Congress to Parliament, we're going to start by thinking about structural differences. There's the fundamental difference between presidential and parliamentary systems, and it's the relationship between the legislative and the executive branches. The best way to understand these differences is to start with the geography of Washington and London. Members of Congress are constitutionally prohibited from simultaneously holding office in the executive branch. In contrast, in the UK, the stability of the government hinges on the strength and cohesion of the majority party or coalition. Now let's look at rational differences, comparing Parliament and Congress. Being a senator is seen as more desirable than being a member of the House of Representatives. Reasons for this include elections that happen every 6 years rather than 2, there's increased powers, and there is a perceived higher status. In contrast, the House of Commons' elevated powers mean that MPs can only take up a seat in the House of Lords once their career in the House of Commons has ended. So whilst one is more prestigious than the other, you have to do one in order to get the latter. What are the cultural differences between Congress and Parliament? Congress is very much a reflection of its federal system of government. Representation is based on the 50 states in the Senate, but it is also based on equal representation regardless of population in the House of Representatives, as they are done by representation proportional to each state's population. In Parliament, MPs represent constituents, based mostly around the historic counties, cities and towns of the UK. The House of Lords still reflects a culture of a nation that dates back to centuries.